The castle was alive with the music of preparation. Among the servants moved a girl named Illy. Thin, quiet, often unnoticed. She had been brought to the castle years ago, sold by her starving family. She scrubbed floors, carried water, washed linens, and dreamed. Her coarse grey dress hung loosely on her frail bones. Her hair was always tied back tightly. She never wore color, except in her imagination. The only thing that brought her comfort was passing by the ladies' chambers, where in the dim light she sometimes glimpsed it, the yellow gown. Silk like sunlight. Threads of gold woven through the fabric. Embroidery so fine it seemed to shimmer like honey. It hung on a carved wooden stand like a treasure of the gods. Whenever Illy saw it, her chest ached. That gown was everything she was not, radiant, delicate, adored. She often wondered what would it feel like to wear something beautiful, to not be invisible. That question slowly became poison in her blood. The night of the feast came. Nobles arrived in glittering carriages. The halls glowed with candlelight. Music floated in the air like perfume. Each noblewoman entered, wrapped in silks, jewels, feathers, walking art. Illy moved among them, head down, carrying trays of wine. They didn't see her. They never did. But then she passed the lady. The lady was tall, elegant, perfect. Her dark hair was pinned with pearls, her lips red as wine, her gown deep crimson velvet. Power followed her like a shadow. Everyone watched her, admired her or feared her, often both. Illy always watched her with quiet awe and envy. That night, the lady's eyes were sharp, taking in every detail. She wanted the night flawless. She wanted respect. She wanted control. And control, she always had. Illy slipped away. Her heartbeat thundered in her ears as she ran through the quiet corridor. She should not be here. She knew it, but something stronger than fear pulled her. The ladies' chambers were empty. The yellow gown stood waiting on its stand, glowing gently in the candlelight. Illy closed the door behind her. Her hands trembled. Just for a moment, she whispered. She touched the fabric, soft, warm, alive. Before she knew it, she was untying her grey dress. It fell to the floor like shed skin. She lifted the yellow gown carefully, reverently, and pulled it over her head. It kissed her shoulders. It draped over her body like sunlight. It fit as though it had been made for her, even though she knew it wasn't true. She tied the golden sash and stood before the mirror. She gasped. Not a servant. Not a shadow. A lady. For the first time in her life, she felt beautiful. There was music coming from the great hall. She wanted, just once, to feel what it was like to walk among them as an equal. And so she did. At first, no one noticed her entering the feast. The gown did its magic, draping her in nobility. The guests parted for her without thinking. She walked like a dream through candlelight. Some smiled politely. Some nodded. They assumed she belonged. Illy felt like she was floating. She stood by the wall, watching the dancers. For one precious moment, she was not Illy the servant girl. She was golden. She was free. But the lady noticed everything. Across the hall, the lady turned, and saw her gown walking on a stranger. Her eyes narrowed. Silence rolled through the room like a cold wind as the lady glided forward. The music died. Conversations stopped. Illy froze. The lady stopped in front of her, inches away. The lady's voice was calm. Too calm. Tell me, she said softly, do you believe silk makes you my equal? Illy couldn't find words. Her throat was dry. Her knees shook. The lady reached out, and with one violent pull, ripped the gown open. Gasps filled the air. Illy stumbled back as the silk fell from her shoulders, tearing under the lady's grip. In seconds, she was nearly naked, standing in front of nobles, trembling, exposed. Laughter, whispering, disgusted stares. Her skin burned with shame. The lady's voice rang out, clear and merciless. Let everyone see what happens when a servant forgets her place. She snapped her fingers. Bring the cane. A footman obeyed. Illy backed away, shaking her head. Please, my lady, please. The lady grabbed her hair and forced her to her knees. The floor was cold beneath Illy's skin. You wore what was not yours, the lady said. You dared to stand among us. You thought beauty erased the blood in your veins. She raised the cane. The first strike cracked through the hall like thunder. Illy screamed. The second hit harder. Pain exploded across her back. Tears blinded her. The nobles watched in silence. Some looked away. Others leaned forward, intrigued. The lady continued, each strike measured, unforgiving. She did not yell. She did not curse. She simply punished, as if correcting a child or training an animal. This, the lady declared between blows, is the order of the world. Illy sobbed, collapsing to the floor. The cane fell one last time. Then, silence. The lady dropped the broken remains of the gown on top of her. Clean up your mess, she said coldly, and turned away, as though Illy were nothing more than dirt on the floor. The music slowly returned. Conversations resumed. The feast continued, uncaring. Illy lay curled on the ground, trembling, humiliated, naked and broken. But beneath the pain, something flickered. Not shame. Not fear. Hatred. A slow, burning hatred that warmed her more than any silk ever could. She tasted blood on her lip, and smiled weakly. The lady believed she had crushed a servant. But she had awakened something far more dangerous. A girl with nothing left to lose. And in the shadows of the grand hall, as the nobles danced once more beneath golden light, a servant began to dream of rebellion.